Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. We love to get into the nitty-gritty here, and today we're diving headfirst into the Toronto real estate market.
Yeah, always a hot topic.
Absolutely. Especially with this new data hot off the presses from TREB.
The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board.
Exactly, the October 2024 Market Watch report. And, whether you're already a homeowner thinking about buying or just curious about what's going on in our city, this deep dive's for you. We've got the report right here. And, well, we've got our expert to make sense of it all.
Happy to be here. Definitely some interesting stuff in these numbers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like right off the bat, this jump in home sales in the GTA catches the eye. 6,658 sales in October, a whopping 44.4% higher than the same time last year.
Big jump.
A big jump, yeah. What's going on there?
Well, the Bank of Canada rate cuts are probably a big factor. Mortgages are a little bit easier to swallow now, and buyers are, well, they're feeling a bit more confident.
Makes sense. So maybe those buyers who are, holding back, waiting for things to cool down a bit, maybe they're starting to jump back in.
Yeah, could be. But here's the thing. Even with sales going up like this, prices haven't gone completely haywire.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, new listings are up too, so there's a bit more balance in the market now. Buyers actually have, they have options, which is a big change from the crazy competition we've seen the last few years.
It's not a total buying frenzy then.
Right. We're seeing more of a kind of a back and forth, buyers and sellers both trying to figure out where things are going. And you can actually see this playing out in the numbers from the report. Average selling price is up a little, just 1.1% year over year to $11,135,215.
Okay.
But then there's the MLS Home Price Index composite benchmark, which actually shows a 3.3% year-over-year decrease.
Well, hold on, wait. So we've got two numbers telling two different stories. What's the takeaway here for the average person listening
Yeah.
who maybe doesn't speak, real estate jargon?
Well, think of it this way. The average selling price, it's basically a snapshot, right? Just shows what homes are selling for right now. The MLS HPI, the Home Price Index, it's a bit more complex. It factors in things like the type of property, specific features, to give a more kind of a broader view of how values are trending over time.
So one's a quick glance and one's a deeper dive, kind of like what we're doing here.
You got it. We're looking at it from all angles. And while things are definitely picking up, it doesn't look like it's, going to be an explosion or anything, at least not yet. But that's where things get interesting, right? We've got this kind of balanced market right now, but it might be sitting on shaky ground.
Shaky ground. How so?
Well, think about it. These new listings, they're getting snapped up pretty quick. And at the same time, construction is lagging behind. We've got this growing population. And if that keeps up, well, we could easily see prices start to climb a lot faster, in the next few months.
Yeah.
Especially, heading into spring next year.
So it's like the calm before the storm. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And then there's this whole other thing, right? TRREB is wading into the political waters now, pushing for policies that could really shake things up in terms of affordability.
Right. You're talking about their support for that Conservative Party proposal.
Yeah.
The one to axe the GST on new homes under $1 million.
Exactly. They're saying that if we, reduce that tax burden and make it easier for folks, especially first-time buyers, to get into the market. Of course, it's a complex issue. Lots of different opinions out there.
No doubt about that. But let's bring it back to our listeners.
Yeah.
What do you think is the key takeaway for them from all this?
Oh, I think the biggest thing is just understanding how much this market is in flux. We've seen a shift, more choices for buyers, which is great. But that window, it might not be open for long.
So for anyone out there who's been thinking about, getting into the Toronto real estate game, this could be a make or break moment.
It could be, yeah. It's that classic dilemma. Jump in now while there's a little breathing room or wait and see, maybe risk those higher prices down the road.
Tough call. No easy answers.
Nope. And that's why it's so important to look past the headlines, really dig into the data, the trends, all the different forces at play. What we've talked about today is just, it's a starting point.
Definitely. This is more than just numbers on a page, right? It's people's lives, their dreams, their financial futures.
Absolutely. And speaking of the future, as we start to wrap things up here, I wanted to leave our listeners with something to think about.
I love a good cliffhanger. Lay it on me.
All right. So imagine this. The Toronto market, it heats up like we've been talking about, right? What happens then? What kind of impact does that have on the surrounding areas? Do we see more people, heading out to the 905 hoping to find something they can actually afford, or does the whole GTA just, kind of experience this synchronized upswing?
Like a ripple effect. What happens in Toronto just kind of spreads outwards.
Exactly. It just reminds us that real estate, it's not just about, buildings and bricks and mortar. It's about how we live, how communities change, how the whole economy works. It's all connected.
That's a great point. A lot to think about there. It
Yeah.
really is. A lot to chew on. So, hey, huge thanks to our expert for joining us today and walking us through all this.
You're welcome. It's been a great conversation. Always interesting to dig into this stuff.
And to everyone listening out there, thanks for joining us on this little deep dive, you know, into the world of Toronto real estate, all the data, the trends, what it all might mean for the future.
Absolutely. And
Well,
remember, knowledge is power, especially when you're making big decisions, like buying a house or selling one.
couldn't agree more. Keep those questions coming, folks.
Yeah.
Keep learning, keep exploring, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.